What's up, YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of the Universim Season 6 Death Mode. Staying as the previous, just difficulty remembering to all that we're not allowed to use any of the wrath spells or the dome, which, to be honest, the dome is probably the one that is the biggest problem for us. The wrath spells are good defensive, but we can defend in other ways. The dome is obviously also defensive, but it's better because it stops entire meteor showers, tornadoes, lightning strikes, though, to be honest, you wouldn't be able to predict them. But anyway, so it is proving difficult. We would have a lot more nuggets by now than we normally would, but I just keep losing them. You will see death markers come up saying that nuggets have died due to blood loss. That is one of two reasons. One is that they have been turned into a zombie and died via the guard towers, or that they are the original zombie, which is the coffin dodger, and they've just died because their health points has hit 0. Unfortunately, the Sarlaccs do seem to respawn, or at least spawn in new places. So they do start popping up throughout the settlement planet. I mean, to be honest, we're nearly half of the planet already, which is quite significant to say how small we are in terms of population.
You didn't let your workers
just chucking that pyramid down, though. Don't worry, it will be removed momentarily when I need the space. But yeah, what I have noticed is the guard towers do not attack the Sarlaccs, which is ridiculous, but I have had them right. They spawn right next door, you'll see in a bit, and they do nothing. So I have to still throw stones at them, which is a bit annoying to say. I'm going to have to do that probably throughout the entire series, but it's what we signed up for, so we'll have to make do. Just following along now with one of the fire nuggets. Luckily, some got there before. We do have these scattered around, although not quite as efficient as the guard towers and bunkers. The bunkers and guard towers, of course. The guard towers are the zombie defense. The bunkers are the everything else defense. So if we get meteor showers, tornadoes, we can use the bunkers to try and keep as many nuggets as alive as possible. Of course, there's nothing we can do about the buildings, but all the buildings can be rebuilt. We are in a bit of a crap moment again where I have nowhere near enough bricks. The planks are fine, though. They're running low, but it's not the end of the world. But the bricks are terrible. Once again, we are under attack. This is very, very common. We have a lot of exiles on the planet, and they just keep coming. Telekinesis is the only option I have, albeit not the best. Remember, drowning is better than splattering on the floor, because sometimes they do get up from when you splatter them, but dropping them in the lake like so always seems to kill them instantly. And it's about as offensive as I can be in terms of offense and defense. There is no tower around here, so that will be something I will hopefully short now. Yep, there we go. And you can see there are some gaps. Minister of Defense is close, so I'll hope that they will do this for us, but I'm pretty sure they won't do it in the expectations that I have, and that is basically every bit of the town is covered by a guard tower so that zombies can't reign supreme. Right, getting some barracks down. I don't have cement yet, so they won't build, well, they won't deliver all the resources because I don't have them. But as soon as I've done this, I will, of course, set the research. The next one, or I believe it's likely the next 1 or 2 researches, I can get the cement unlocked. The idea then is when we get these attacks, or animal attacks, I'm not sure if they do, or even zombies, yep. The military have got any, will automatically activate and go to fight that threat. They will likely die instead of the normal nuggets, but it's just an extra form of defense, and I think it's more for the animal attacks and the exile attacks because the numbers that they're sending now are quite large and it's quite frequent. I'm not showing you all of them, but it's pretty much the same each time. Telekinesis is good at picking up a few, but you do lose a lot of nuggets while you're doing it because it just takes so long to channel. If you do it one by one, it's a little bit quicker, but I don't know, it's better than nothing. I mean, I could just leave them and let them fight each other
Are you
and not
going
intervene at
soft,
all.
Creator? Well, I suppose we
If
all
anybody
know
thinks that's an
the-
option, let me know. But for now, I'm using what I've got, and what I've got is telekinesis and throwing them in the sea. Here's an example of a blood loss message, and somebody just, or some nugget just randomly dying. Again, it's not really that random, because of course it is based on the coffin dodger. So every time they die, they lose 10 health. And when that gets down to what I've seen of 5 or 0, they just die. I thought they were supposed to turn into a zombie, but it seems that there's a chance. It's not all of them, from what I've gathered. I have had a couple of batches where they've gone a bit apeshit crazy and started turning the population, but the guard towers are fixing that anyway. The only downside to it is I am losing the nuggets, because if they get turned, instead of me getting there in time and curing them, which you can do if they're bitten, the archers in the guard towers just kill them. They don't care. So yeah, you do lose a lot of more nuggets doing it that way, but it's also a safety net that it's not just going to take over your entire population. Also, I try, if I notice, to hit the alarm, and the zombies won't go into the bunkers, so they stay safe. Just a random lucky box here. This must have been from the UFO quest crash that I didn't pick up, I guess. There's been no meteors on my village yet, so it's not from there. Meteor strikes, that is. So I'll get that researched, and we'll get some goodies out of it. Just checking now, you can see the towers, both the lower level and then the upgraded level that I'm just starting to do 60 damage per 3 seconds. So that's 20 damage a second, although they only attack once every 3 seconds. So the DPS is 20, but realistically it's 60 damage every 3 seconds, which seems to kill a zombie in 2 hits, which means it takes 6 seconds to kill 1 zombie on 1 guard tower. So if 2 or 3 or even 5 and 6 that I've seen are around it, there's no chance. And yeah, so I'm hoping that with the upgrades that improves significantly, but I'll be honest, I haven't really paid much attention to the later levels of the guard towers. What I will do is get gunpowder as soon as possible, because I'm pretty confident that the guns from crossbows, or crossbows to guns, will increase the attack speed. And this is where I get rid of the pyramid, as I said, because I'm just not building all the way out there when the pyramid is just not necessary, to be honest. We know that the legendary buildings have the potential to bring exiles back to you on the basis of having an airport, and you need multiple things. But that's not what we're interested in at the minute. There's not enough space on this planet. You can see we're already, like I say, half of this planet covered, and I don't expect that we're going to be able to have fancy buildings. It's going to have to be knocking buildings down to make room if it gets any more extreme. So I appreciate by now, you guys, if you're still watching, thank you very much. I would like to suggest, if there's any ideas you can think of to make it a bit more interesting for you or difficult for me, then do let me know while we're just looking at this sort of time lapse. There goes the sun. Can't go there though. That'd be interesting to try and colonize the sun. Hot. Anyway, yeah, let me know in the comments or on Discord. I am seeing quite a few buildings that are showing up as ready to collapse or in shambles, or the many other messages that they put on there that you can see in the orange that is saying that the buildings are falling down because you don't have an engineer. Strangely, it seems that the whole building has to be within the green area, otherwise it doesn't count, is what I've noticed. If you have a small fraction of the building outside the green radius, it just doesn't get fixed. So that's interesting. At least they've fixed part of it and not all of it, right? But never mind. Also, what I've noticed is you can, when you build the barracks, and obviously you can have 4 of them at the most, I actually want to populate 1 and the other 3 leave empty for now, because one of them is right next to where I keep getting attacked, the other's not. But you can't really do it like that unless what you would have to do is, now I've established, is it always builds up the first one you build, then the second, then the third, then the fourth. So if you want to fill just one barracks and leave the other 3 empty until later, you would need to build the first barracks where you want them to be, and then the second and the third and the fourth. I didn't do that, so the actual one I want to use is the third one I built, so I have to fill up 3 to get them to fill it up. Very odd, but it is what it is. Now you can see the Sarlacc in the middle of the town, and everything that walks past it is getting either knocked flying or killed. Luckily, not many kills yet, because they have got a bit more health behind them. So I'm going to have to keep stealing rocks now and throwing them at it. I will do a bit of science shortly, because you can see a giant guard tower right next to it. But I don't know why it doesn't do anything, so I'm not sure if that's a misstep for the game or if it's intentional. It seems very odd that that is an enemy that is, of course, killing our... And that noise was 1 lightning strike wiping out 9 nuggets. Now let me know your record, because mine's usually 2 or 3, but yes, 1 lightning strike killed 9 nuggets in 1 strike. That is quite impressive. And very unlucky again, because again, nuggets are the most important resource at the minute, and I'm losing them left, right and centre because I can't really defend them in the ways I would. So you can see I'm purposely leaving this Sarlacc tentacle thing now, just to see if these 2 guards that are working in this guard tower are going to do anything about it. And I'm going to have to say no. No, I know they don't, and they just killed it just killed another nugget there and back up again. But I don't even see them actually at the top of the guard tower on the platforms. Normally, on the older ones you can, so it's interesting. Also, I do have some people set up in the barracks, and they're not coming over either. So it looks like we're going to be throwing stones at Sarlaccs throughout the entirety of this season on our home planet. FYI, turns out trees work too. They were closer, so I thought I'd give it a go. And then there's a wolf attacking coming. So this is what I mean. You can clearly see that this is tough. Now the wolves can be dealt with and will be dealt with properly. So the guard towers will defend against them. The infantry of whatever type that you have will go out and fight offensively against the wolves. But you will lose people as well, because unfortunately they only seem to get bit once or twice and it's all over. But you can see they didn't last long. They didn't get too far and they killed 3 nuggets. So it looks like there was at least 8 wolves there. So that's positive for us, I would say. Got to keep the barracks as full as possible, but it will steal your unemployed, which are your labourers. So remember that if you do go for a large army force like this, with such a small amount of population, you will be struggling to get stuff transferred and moved around and delivered. Okay, so pushing on with some research now, and we'll obviously just follow the path. Selecting cable arch there, but I realised that there's the guns as well. So what I actually want is to go straight into the engineering carriage house and get that minister in for the defence, and then we'll go for the gunpowder as well, using some of our discovery points. The idea then is every single nugget that can do any fighting, which is from the garrison, from the guard towers and from the barracks, will have guns instead of crossbows. And I hope that will increase the efficiency of fighting off wolves and zombies, etc. Okay, so just so we're waiting on well, everything, to be honest, bricks mainly. I've decided to do a exhibition. The exhibition will bring in some discovery points, but I'm hoping it may bring in some resources as well, though it doesn't usually bring in that many. We can only send 10 people. I've sent them with a couple of hundred food. They can go for about 40 minutes, and that is unfortunately real 40 minutes. So we'll leave it be and see what they come back with. Even if they come back with a nice bunch of discovery points, I suppose it's a bonus. It just gives me something to do while I'm waiting for all the other things to catch up. I could, of course, create or build an additional refinery for the bricks, so we can get double that, and in fact I am going to do that very shortly. The rest of the stuff is okay still. It's just because I don't have many of the labourers about to actually move the resources about as quick as I want them to, but the resources are okay. It's just the bricks that we are way off. I think I'm about 60 or 70 short as we stand, and there's still a couple of buildings to upgrade as well. And speaking of, I'll get the upgrades done now. Engineers huts, luckily they don't need bricks, so I'm okay with that. Iron, glass and planks isn't too bad. It's the bricks that I'm worried about. And then you can see it on the timer, though I didn't remember at the time, but there is a meteor going to be coming in very, very soon. Where will it land? That's the question.
I'm not sure if the universe hates you, creator, but the incoming...
It could have been a lot worse, but it could have also been a lot better. So it is going to land on the barracks. So nice and simple. I am going to empty all of the barracks, though I could have just turned it off. But anyway, empty all the barracks and sound the alarm. That will send everybody, including the guys in the barracks and the guard towers, into bunkers, just to make sure that I don't lose any nuggets. Buildings can be rebuilt, and they will be, but nuggets, I'm not accepting losing those that quickly, or this quickly. 3, 2, 1, and let's see what happens by here. So yeah, immediately the barracks down. A couple of other buildings down as well. Looks like a shop, a barracks. Didn't see anything else, although I heard more. I heard 3, I'm not sure. But I can just get them. Turn the alarm off straight away. There's nothing more to worry about there. And get them rebuilt. Shouldn't take too long. We've got plenty of cement, and that's all I'm using cement for at the minute. And we get a box out of it as well, so I'll chuck that at the temple to be researched. Overloaded, but only because we lost somebody, so I can bring them straight back. The poultices, there are 7 left. I didn't take as many as I normally would because I overloaded with food instead. I usually find that I run out of food and not poultices, so that's why I've reduced the poultice and increased the food. Again, it's just something to do while I'm waiting for many, many things. A lot of this would normally be skipped previously, and I would skip to say, hi, everything's upgraded, but
excruciating pain, or
leaving it in,
they just discovered a
just in case I get attacked.
Have a look for yourself, creator.
And another Sarlacc spawned in the base, luckily right next to some rocks, so I can go back to throwing rocks at it. Again, right next to a guard tower that does absolutely nothing. So there's that. Please do let me know if you've had a guard tower attack the Sarlaccs. Please do let me know. Maybe it's something I'm doing wrong. You can just see they leave the building and run around like idiots. If you know that when they get upgraded a bit more they will, or the guns, yeah. But at the minute, I've decided that the guard towers are doing nothing for us here. They're not totally useless because they protect us against everything else. But the Sarlaccs just popping up randomly will get a bit annoying later on. And I'm pretty sure there's nothing I can do in terms of upgrades or anything where I can drop heavier things on them. Checking out the tower, they're not the friendliest bunch with me. They're not displeased with me because obviously I can't heal everybody because of the way it works. So it's fine. But I'm going to end it here anyway because we are around at time. So thank you very much for watching. If you like the video, please click like. Any comments are welcome as always. Join us on Discord. Subscribe for more. Take care. Goodbye.